music is still some form of communication.
Yes.
You know, and you as a creator, I think you have to begin with at least you have to be friendly. You have to try to sincerely to communicate with people. So there's no absolute way of doing things, but you have to look at the your environment also. If you music is like a kind of language. If you really try to communicate with people, then you have to kind of speak the language that people can understand. At least you have to do something that will reflect your personality, and you have to be different, and you have to be something worthwhile to listen to. I mean, you cannot always or repeat other people's thoughts, or there's not a certain answer, because you have to see where you are which part of the world you are in. I mean, you're in America, you're in Australia, you're in France, and you're in Singapore. It might be different. So you can write those very avant-garde music in Singapore, but you have to be ready that your work might not have the second chance to perform, or if you're lucky enough, you may be famous after you many years after you die. I think as a composer, you have to strike a balance. You have to think of the audience, because you want to communicate with them. You don't want your music to be not accepted by the audience. Of course, you would like the audience to appreciate your music, like your music. Like, we do something, we always hope to that way. But then also you have to, first of all, you have to do something that you really want to do, you like to do, and you have a reason to do it, and you feel that it's important. There's something, there's a message that you want to convey to your listener. The good thing about studying in Australia is an eye opener. The environment, and I get to do some experiment, and then these experiments basically are based on what I learned. I think serial music is very important to me at that time, because we start from 12-tone music, and then we go to the serial music by Boulez, by Schubert, Boulez, Bach, and Webens, and to Messiaen, and I analyze the scores, and I try to see the difference between the different composers, and I think that's very important, because after a while I was thinking that can I do something in the same trend but different. So I work up some serial writing methods. For my own. I use it quite extensively in the music that I wrote during the 80s mainly, and up to the 90s. I use a lot of those techniques, and then I think I have a basic fundamental understanding. I base on that. Then I come up with my own ideas.
Was the audience receptive?
They don't know what I'm doing. They just listen to the music. It can sound very traditional. In a way. Like I use the Chinese pentatonic scale to combine with 12-tone.
Oh, okay.
And then you get to hear the kind of color from a pentatonic scale, as well as some color that you didn't usually hear from the Chinese music.
Wow.
This is like a variation, but then it's quite free based on the same one of the 12 tone row. It sounds complicated, right?
Yeah.
But actually, I only use 1 or 2 tone row, or maybe I can just use the 4 basic, tone row. The original, the retrograde, and then the retrograde inversion and the retrograde inversion. So these 4. If you 12 tone series, right? You can have 48 different versions.
Yeah.
But normally I just use the original for 1, and for 1 variation, and or 1 piece, 1 movement even.
It's interesting that it sounds very tonal. To me, it sounds very pleasant, tonal. Where most people will think of 12 tone as very
I think it's very tonal.
Unpleasant. Yeah, to me it's quite tonal. I mean, so in the beginning of the.
So instead of having 1 note, I have 1 chord. So altogether, I have a series of 12 chords, and some of my composition are based on 12 pentatonic, different pentatonic, and it changed gradually. Like I start with this pentatonic, and then I do this. See, I gradually add up the sharps. So you get different colors, as well as some different tangents, and you can go the other way around. You can do something like that. So it's the other way around. I have this piece. Read about this. That's very traditional Western, compositional technique like Canons, but go along with the so-called chord progression, with all the the different sets of pentatonic scale going on, gradually changing. Turn this piano piece into a Yangqing concerto using the same thing. Basically the same material, but then I make it into a very big orchestra, a version with a Yangqing instead of a piano solo. And this is like a variation, I think. So this is 12 tone, but you see, you have a pentatonic scale, right?
Oh, I see. Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So you have.
I
this,
see.
Yeah.
So you had the pentatonic
For
in the 12 tone row.
Yeah. So it's just a series of variation on the tone row, and you keep adding on notes, and then after that you cut down the number of notes, and you do the whole thing is like you're doing a crescendo and then a decrescendo. The design of the movement is like that. Yeah, I do variation in a very different way from the traditional, concept. Like I would do variations from back to front. I mean, I do the variation first, and then gradually I go back to the theme.
Okay, I see.
And in fact, I think I don't know who are the composers that mentioned something like this is here. Right? All the compositions concepts are based on variation. You look at Beethoven. You look at Mozart. They all not to mention they do something under the title of variation, but then also in their compositions, their symphony, their sonatas, a lot of development techniques are based on variations. So I did variations also. In fact, a lot of work. Either I name it after a variation, or there's just a variation. It's just like Chopin. His some of his work, like his Polonaise.
Oh,
actually,
okay.
it's like rondo, like A B A C A, that kind of structure. But you wouldn't call it, a rondo. You just call it, Polonaise, or with different names. Even he called his work prelude. It's actually, it's just a name, because prelude is originally is will be followed by a few, or something. It's like a kind of overture. If it's for orchestra. So the name sometimes doesn't matter.
Okay.
But it's the the content itself.
Okay.
This one.
Rasa Sayang.
Yeah. Actually, the themes you can make it into very Mozart theme.
Yeah.
And but I do it in a different way. I call this variation on a transfigured theme, because I kind of distort the theme a bit, and I use the concept of major third, so that you don't get to hear something that too traditional. You get to hear something a bit different, but it may be a bit at first people think that this theme, because they are too familiar with the music that harmonized by normal harmonization. Ordinary not harmonization like something like that. But mine is something like that. So I use all the major third to kind of go along with melody. So I have the original music first. So for comparison, when the Transfigured Theme comes in, then you can have a different you can have a reference and a contrast. And come with a different color and quite consistent. All the variations are like a theme in a two-part structure. first have to be honest to himself. I mean, what he do have to have to be first of all approved by himself, and that's something that he wanted to do for himself first, actually, then for the audience. Both are important, but you have to have an order. Which one comes first? I think you still have to be honest and sincere to yourself. I mean, this is what I want to do, and then you can hope for the best. Hope that the audience will appreciate that. I think that's important.
Okay.
And you don't go in just do something that to amuse or to even to shock your audience.
Okay.
Music still a form of art.
Yeah.
That have to come from your heart.